I know that it's not uncommon for sales representatives to work long hours, prepare and make sales presentations, travel locally and across the country, and even around the world. But what happens when a sales representative has seizures, blood clots, or even diabetes that can be aggravated by the physical demands of the occupation of a sales representative? I think it's crucial that any such claim be supported by medical evidence that establishes the objective basis of the diagnosis and the objective basis of the restrictions and limitations, the risk of further injury or any acceleration of the disabling medical conditions, or even the increased risks of death. Simply saying so doesn't make it so. And unfortunately, that's what happened in the case of Kuzminoff versus Unum. It's a Colorado case. Now, Kuzminoff was a former sales representative for Thomson Reuters, and he became disabled as a result of diabetes. He claimed benefits on the basis that performing his duties involved a high risk of injury or mortality due to his inability to control his blood sugar, particularly when he was doing his job, since he worked as much as 18 hours per day and he also traveled extensively. Now, the Thomson Reuters benefits were administered by Unum. Unum, of course, denied his claim, and Kuzminoff appealed. Unfortunately, the Colorado court upheld the denial of his short-term disability benefits. They said that the medical records did not support a functional loss. They also noted that his employer had made an offer of accommodated work, which Kuzminoff had refused. I think there are lots of lessons to be learned in this case. First, read the policy cover to cover. Look for the nature of proof that's required and whether there's an accommodation provision in the policy. Now, in retrospect, what I would have recommended that he do would have had his doctors suggest accommodations, submit those to his employer, try any accommodated work, and if he failed at that, have his doctors address in objective medical terms why he failed that accommodated work, the impact of that failure on his symptoms or diabetes, and why further accommodations were not appropriate. I think that his doctors also should have specifically addressed the risk of injury or aggravation or acceleration of his medical condition based on his duties, particularly the hours that he worked, the environment that he worked, the travel that he did, the stress associated with meeting his production requirements, and the physical consequences of having uncontrolled diabetes, and how that could not only progress and worsen his diabetes, but result in end-stage organ damage to other organs, such as his kidneys or his heart. I think that the lesson here really comes down to understanding that policy, what needs to be proven, and then going the extra mile to develop the medical and even perhaps the vocational evidence that establishes the basis of the restrictions and limitations, and why accommodation would or would not work, or if it's been attempted, why it failed, and the consequences. If your claim has been denied, call me at 727-894-3188. I can help you get the disability insurance benefits you deserve regardless of where you live in the United States.